only 2 weeks away from Election Day 2020. Political commentator Bill Press leads off the program today. He's host of the podcast, The Bill Press Pod. He's in Washington, D.C. All right, the Biden camp has been warning that the race is much closer. Is it?
Well, I think the Biden camp is smart to do that, Larry. First, let's back up. I'd rather be Joe Biden today than Donald Trump. When you look at the polls on the national level, the average poll, according to Real Clear Politics, is about +8, +9 for Biden. And I saw the latest today of the 10 battleground states, most important states. We all know what they are: Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, Iowa. Biden leads in those eight states. Trump won them by 10 points or less in 2016. And there are only two battleground states: Ohio, where Trump and Biden are tied, and Texas, where Trump is ahead. This is Texas, red state Texas, Trump ahead by only 2. So given that, I'd rather be Joe Biden today than Donald Trump. But let me tell you, as we know, it all depends on turnout, and that's close. Polls are never that accurate. That could change. That's probably going to, for sure, Biden's lead is going to diminish. And so Biden is right to warn his people, don't take this for granted. Don't get complacent. Don't sit back and whatever you do, don't think about not voting because it's in the bag, because it's not in the bag.
What could have changed it for Trump? The handling the coronavirus?
I think that's the number one thing that could have changed it. I think more than anything else, this election is a referendum on actually two things. One, it's a referendum on his behavior, just his personality, his personal attacks, his rhetoric, his language. He attacks women, he attacks Fauci, he attacks everybody, number one. Number two, it's a referendum on how Donald Trump has handled the coronavirus. And I don't see how you can look at that and give him good marks. I mean, from the beginning, he has admitted he knew it was serious. He downplayed it. He didn't do anything. He won't wear a mask. He's now having super spreader events. The death toll keeps going up to now about 220,000. And he keeps saying, we're turning the corner. We are not. Look, this is not Republican or Democrat speaking. We are not turning the corner. We are not turning the corner. There's 36 states today that have the highest cases that they've ever had. Last Friday, there were 70,000 new cases. That's the most since July. This is growing. It is still serious. And I think that when people look at where Donald Trump has been on this, he's been absent without leave, AWOL.
Yeah, do you wonder about that? Why? Do you think he wants to lose? There's a peculiar thing about Donald Trump. He just sometimes actually doesn't act like Donald Trump.
I agree. I agree with you. I get asked that question all the time. No, I don't think he wants to lose. I think he really wants another 4 years. Look, he's got it easy there in the White House. He's got all that staff. He's got that great place. He's got Air Force One. He's got all the television that he wants. He loves that. He loves that. But I think he is living in denial, Larry. And he thinks, his whole campaign is going around to these rallies, right? Every day, 2 rallies, maybe 3 rallies, at least 1 a day, where his supporters come out and he basks in their applause and in their glory. But these are people that are already going to vote for him, right? Not to mention that there's super spreader events because there's no social distancing and most of these people are not wearing masks. But I think he sees those rallies as a sign that how popular he is nationwide and how that alone is going to get him another 4 years. Um, I, I, I think he's living in denial.
There were simultaneous town halls. Biden beat Trump in the ratings. Does that show you anything?
I think it shows that Donald Trump made a dumb decision. So they have the first debate. This was Donald Trump's chance to really kind of turn things around, get some momentum going. And what did he do? He interrupted Chris Wallace. He interrupted Joe Biden 145 times in 90 minutes, which is like almost twice a minute. And he blew it. So then he gets the virus. And they don't know how long he's going to have to be in quarantine or how long he's going to be sick. So the presidential commission said, we'll do this like you and I are doing. We're going to do it on Zoom. And Donald Trump said, no, I'm not going to waste my time online. So what happened? They have 2 town halls. 73 million people watched the first debate, Larry. The total for the next 2 debates, right? Well, the 2 town halls, rather, was 27.5 million compared to 73 million. So already he cut it by a third how many people could watch. And then he was on 3 networks, NBC, MSNBC, and CNBC, and he got fewer ratings, fewer people than Joe Biden did on one network, ABC. So he lost the biggest audience he could have had, and he lost TV ratings to Joe Biden. That was a dumb, stupid mistake on Donald Trump's part.
Trump campaign advisor Jason Miller says he thinks Trump will give Joe Biden a little bit more time to explain himself on the issues. How might that work?
Well, if he's smart, he will. Here's the big question. So it's going to be Thursday night, right, the 22nd, and everybody now they're saying we're going to see a new Donald Trump. We're going to see, Larry, remember this phrase, a kinder, gentler Donald Trump, right? He's going to pivot. He's going to not interrupt. He's going to be nice, and he's going to be kind to the moderator. It's not going to happen. Remember, after Trump was elected, they said he's going to pivot from what he was during the campaign to what he was as president. He never did. He hasn't changed in the last 4 years. If he's smart, I think he will do that, but I don't think it's realistic to expect Donald Trump to change overnight. He can't. I don't think he can do it. So I know that's what his advisors are telling him. I think when he gets on the stage, it's going to be the same old Donald Trump.
What are you going to look for on November 3rd? Big turnout? What's your expectation? Possible disruptions? What do you see?
I'll tell you, first of all, I think we're going to see a huge turnout. I think it's, by the way, I should have mentioned that about this next debate. It's really significant. 28 million people, as you and I speak, have already voted, right? Those are votes in the bank. So whatever happens in this debate, those people can't go back and change their votes, right? So it's time is running out for Donald Trump to turn this around. But here's what I see, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but I think we're going to have a huge turnout, number one. Number two, I think we're going to know November 3rd who wins. I think we'll know maybe late November 3rd, we're going to know. I don't believe in all this disruption and all this stuff. I think it's going to be clear. And here's what I'm going to look for, Larry. Florida. Because Florida is key. Donald Trump has to win Florida, or there's no way he can win. Joe Biden could lose Florida, and there's still a couple of different paths where he could get 270 electoral votes. And we will know Tuesday night who wins Florida because Florida counts their absentee ballots. They're already counting them now. So we're not going to have to wait for Florida's absentee ballots to come in, right? we'll know the absentee and we'll know the actual vote. And if Donald Trump wins Florida, then anything could happen. If Donald Trump loses Florida, it's all over. It's all over.
Are you going to
It's not
look?
going.
What are you going to
It's not
look
going
for in
to.
turnout? What are you going to look for in turnout?
I think it's going to be a historic turnout. Both sides are really energized. I think this early voting is a good sign that people are really into the. You see those long lines in Georgia, and everywhere where there's early voting, these long lines. I think that shows people there's a lot at stake in this election. People know it, and they're going to show it by going out to vote.
All
I
right.
hope
What
that's
is
the case.
the Bill Press prediction?
My prediction is, and I want to be careful that this is not just hopeful thinking, is that Joe Biden's going to win the White House. Democrats are going to pick up 8 to 10 seats in the House, and Democrats are going to win back control of the Senate by 1 or 2 seats. In other words, I wouldn't call it a bloodbath, but I'd call it maybe a blue wave. Yeah, yeah, and then I think the battle after that, Larry, is going to be what happens to the Republican Party. Does it remain the Trump Party, or do some people try to take it back to the Republican Party that we used to know? That's going to be the big battle after November 3rd.
And how do you think that'll turn out?
I hope it turns out that the party that we knew of John McCain and George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush and even Ronald Reagan comes back, and that Trumpism and Donald Trump and the Trump party disappear. But it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle because Trump has taken over the Republican Party right now. It's going to be hard for, I think, people like Mitt Romney or Ben Sass or Larry Hogan from Maryland to turn it around.
Bill, always talking with you. Continued good luck.
All right, Larry, great joining you. All right. And we'll see you after November 3rd.